Alright guys, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Part 2. We're going to talk about Erika and the fact that she was grilled in this entire reunion. But let's be honest guys, let's be honest for a minute. Before we get into this, let's just be honest and say that I don't think we needed this part of the reunion. Sutton wasn't even asked one question, and I don't think this needs to be a 4-part reunion. It could have been a 3-part. I think they heavily exaggerated it with the notion of it being a 4-part because it just was not needed. This is not Atlanta. It's been a great season, but Atlanta was the only franchise that deserved a 4-part. I don't think this deserves a 4-part in any capacity. Hey guys, it's Rhobh Morali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Back at it again with another video. If you have not subscribed guys, click that button for daily and consistent content. Head over to my Instagram, my Patreon, my merch, and let's get straight into this video. Subscribe. Click that button for daily and consistent content. Click that button guys. Daily and consistent content, serving you absolute looks, serving you content fresh and quick as well. It's in the UK, but I'm from London, but it's 2 in the morning and I'm coming to you with this review as soon as possible as the show has ended. So Erika was grilled. Now I'm gonna have to hand it to her. She was performing very well. She was performing very well, answering, you know, Andy's questions quite quickly. The rebuttals were quite fast paced, and I think even Andy himself was doing quite well with the questions that he was answering. Was like, you know, where would you go? I know what you make on the show. You make quite a good amount. You know, when it comes to the money, how are we able to rent these places out and, you know, find a place to move to? It just doesn't make any sense. And she was, you know, not answering that question as well. They're talking about the conversations when it comes to Alzheimer's. Now it does make sense. Again, I can also speak from personal. My grandmother, who's still alive, you know, has Alzheimer's, unfortunately to a very serious state now, but at one point she was regurgitating stories, asking what name of this program was and kept asking it. She was forgetting stuff. So, you know, this type of notion does happen and you can come to quick onset decline when it comes to Alzheimer's. I do think it's being used to, you know, her advantage, and I feel like there's a lot of holes in the story as well, because for Erika to claim that she didn't know about any of the money, that it was going, all her paychecks were going to him, she didn't know what to do about it. In one of the books, I believe she did write that, how did she know about the money? Because my name was on that too. I know what the IRS tell me. She wrote this. So she was willingly expressing that she knows about the content that is coming forth, and she knows about, you know, the type of money that is coming in. Like she showed a sense of acknowledgement. So suddenly be the damsel in distress was very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. What also was interesting to me is that Lisa Rinna's reactions upon hearing about Erika's story and her emotions were very rehearsed. I feel like she was doing this for dramatic effect, and she was also doing this to kind of, you know, convince the audience more so to be on Erika's side. Even Carl was doing this when Erika was like, you know, what about your friend who said this and that, conveniently bringing this up to help the narrative, and Dorit was chiming in as well. Garcelle and Sutton stayed quiet. Kathy was probably thinking about what she's going to eat when she goes home. But, you know, the Fantastic Fox 4, 5, whatever you want to call it, Kyle and Rinna and Dorit conveniently would, you know, chime in to help Erika. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not some kind of team. Erika's being answered the questions, not anybody else. So I don't know if you guys really caught on that, but all 3 of them were doing it here and there, and I found that to be interesting. I don't know why we were discussing Lisa Rinna, Amelia, and Scott Disick. It was incredibly boring. Nobody asked for it, and we didn't need it. I think that part was really the decline of the reunion, and was quite worrying to me because we don't need to discuss this. The storyline ended. Who cares, honestly? In the last 5 to 6 years, I really dwelled on it. I was just, you know, whilst watching the reunion. But what has Lisa Rinna added to the show when it comes to her own personal storylines that involve her? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know, please? Can somebody let me know what this girl is talking about? Please. What storylines? What storylines has my girl, what storylines has she actually added to the show? What she does is deflect and come for people continuously. She doesn't do anything on the show. So when it comes to the Scott Amelia stuff, I'm immediately disengaged because I just don't care about it. We saw this play out properly, and it has nothing to do with her directly. So again, the Harry Hamlin stuff, okay, but that's Harry. That's not her. She doesn't add much to it, so it became very boring. Sutton not being asked any questions to me was bothersome because I feel like she was an integral part of this cast. She was an integral part of the season. For her to be on the edge of the sofa already irritated me, but of course she's a newbie when it comes to a housewife. That's going to happen. Kyle is the OG, you know, I know how it works. But at the same time, I also feel like she should have been asked a few questions here and there. Should have been closer to the sofa, yes, but I felt like her being quiet and just sitting there was just, it kind of annoyed me. Dorit being long-winded, we have discussed this storyline about her talking too much again for the last 3-4 years. Other than that, I don't know what she adds to the show. Really and truly, PK added more than she did. I feel like she was beating behind the bushes. She tried, what Dorit likes to do is try to, you know, defend the other side that needs to be, that needs defending, like Denise. And you know, with Sutton, she does it here and there only once or twice, and then she backs out again, as if she does it on purpose to, you know, and then quickly just comes back to the fantastic Fox 4-5 whatever, some kind of allegiance. She definitely has that allegiance, and I find her tiring. There is conversation that she's not coming back next season. I don't know about that. Hopefully it's true, unless her legal issues come to rise, which really haven't as much apart from the Camille situation. I don't know what she adds to the show, in all honesty. But I do feel like the Kathy and Kyle stuff was engaging. It was interesting. These three sisters, Kim, Kyle, and Kathy, especially Kim and Kyle, have really made the show. And of course, you know, Kathy was upset. Being the older sister, you have that responsibility, and you feel like your family are playing out these family issues, and you feel like you betrayed your mother, and you betrayed yourself, and you betrayed your siblings. So of course she's going to be protective, upset, and irritated. But to see them both get emotional, to mend their sibling breakdown relationship and actually see a happy ending was refreshing. Now that is a storyline that I'm engaged in, and I feel like Carl brought in Kathy for that storyline, and it helped her because she really had nothing else going on. So again, she shouldn't have been on the first seat, to be honest with you, in all honesty. I'm just annoyed that we didn't see much of Sutton. We see more so in the next season, next episode. Again with Crystal, if it's not with Sutton, she didn't do anything in this season. And hopefully I'm aware she's coming back next season. She confirmed it. I really do hope she brings it. I really do. Because I feel like she kind of just is like a mini Teddy, stays up Erika's ass, and you don't need people like that because they don't orchestrate or engage any narrative or storyline. As you can see here are the police, but they're in the damn country because Erika's in the US. They need to drive to the US at this point and find her. But I feel like Erika's storyline and what she was saying has plenty of potholes, but she was answering questions quite quickly. She definitely studied for this, and I feel like there's a lot more than she's letting on. And I feel like she's playing this damsel in distress. She didn't know what to do. Tom was so guarded and whatever. She never went into the relationship for money. You definitely did. You know, it's not a bad thing. Okay, you went in there for the money. Okay, you thought it would help you. He's a richer man. You know, you wanted some of that. It satisfied you. You know, let's not lie now. And I do feel like the way she's playing this is to be the sole victim, and it's just very frustrating to see. Next episode looks interesting because Sutton is beginning to ask questions. Again, she is an integral part of the season, so I don't know why she was sitting there quiet and no questions were posed to her throughout this reunion. I found that to be very irritating. But Andy did a good job. Andy did a good job, and I feel like he asked the right questions. Erika also did a good job. I can't lie to you, she did. But I do feel like she cracks on later on, and we'll just see what happens. I don't think we needed this, guys. I don't think we needed this reunion episode. It was a little bit of a snooze fest, especially the latter half. I found it to be just quite boring and not really entertaining. Just the Lisa Rinna's part, that segment especially, really declined my interest. And then it pulled up with the Kathy Carr stuff, but that Lisa Rinna part was boring. The Dorit part was boring. These two parts was boring, and Dorit was the one that is claiming that Garcelle needs relevance. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button for daily and consistent content. Subscribe. I'm coming to you with videos at this time. If you guys watch Housewives, if your friends watch Housewives, tell them to jump on my Housewives reviews. I rarely do them. I'm getting into it on a regular basis, guys. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.